All right, so let's start.
Daylight saving time. Spring forward, fall back. About 70 countries around the world observe daylight saving time, DST. In the Northern Hemisphere, clocks spring forward an hour in the spring and fall back to standard time in the fall. In the Southern Hemisphere, some countries also spring forward and fall back, but their seasons are opposite from those in the Northern Hemisphere. However, most countries along and below the equator have no reason to participate in this semi-annual time shift. Many people think that the purpose of daylight saving time is to give farmers more hours of sunlight to do their work. This is a myth. Farmers are the first to say that they rise with the sun, not the clock. A bug collector from New Zealand was the first person to propose a time shift in the summer months. George Hudson wanted more hours to collect bugs and suggested a 2-hour time shift. In April 1916, Germany became the first country to adopt daylight saving time. Germany's original purpose was to conserve energy during the war. European and North American countries followed its lead, with hopes that people would stay outdoors longer and use less artificial energy. This may have worked years ago. However, modern conveniences, such as air conditioners and shopping malls, have offset these savings. Daylight saving time does appear to have some benefits. Tourists are more likely to stay out later and spend more money. DST may also reduce car accidents, since it makes roads brighter during the afternoon rush hour. Those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder seem to benefit greatly from DST. On the other hand, there is always an increase in car accidents and a decrease in productivity during the first few dark mornings of DST, when our internal clocks are still adjusting. Some health experts also argue that this unnatural adjustment puts a strain on the human body, especially when DST begins. As we know from jet lag, losing an hour is more difficult on the body than gaining an hour. In addition, seasonal time changes cause confusion for travelers and business workers in different time zones. If your region observes DST, would you miss the extra hour of sunlight without it? If you don't change your clocks, do you think many countries will join you in the 21st century?
So we got some questions in here. Do you guys like DST? It sounds weird for us because in Portuguese would be like dois somente transmitíveis. I know it sounds weird, but do you like it?
Yes, I like it.
Not. Yeah? No? It doesn't really affect us, or it didn't used to, because in Paraíba we don't have it, right? We only used to watch the soap operas a little earlier. And the TV was 1 hour earlier, but I used to love it because when I was a child, I used to like to watch the movies and all this stuff. So I used to like it because of that, because it was 1 hour earlier, so I could sleep more or I could watch it. So I used to love it. But do you like it? You don't mind? What do you think?
I think it's the same situation, the same thing that you told. When I was child, it was very cool watch the movies, the films and everything. But I think it's still difficult in Brazil because when you imagine, by the way, something like NA or travels or something that change the hour, it's very difficult because it can prejudice our situation or our plans.
I was muted, sorry. I said it is true, Peter. That's correct. maybe people that have to do NA, it can be a little stressing because you have to be 1 hour earlier. But yeah, let's see. I don't know if we're gonna have it next year, but we didn't have it this year, and I don't know the difference. When I was in Canada, I experienced DST, and it was strange because when it was 8 a.m., normal hours, 8 a.m., it was very dark. Very, 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 very dark. Like 3 a.m. darkness. This type of darkness. It was very dark. So it was strange at the beginning because we live in João Pessoa. It's the first place where the sun rises. But I think you can get used to it. But it was hard for them. For me, it was okay because Brazil was 1 hour in front of Canada. So I still had 1 hour to sleep. And then when it was DST, I had 2 hours more than Brazil to sleep. So I loved it. It was awesome. But anyways, guys, let's keep on going with the listen and type, okay? Right now, I'm going to play it one more time. You're going to try to answer, as always. You already know the drill. And we're going to continue, okay? First time, just listen. Second time, we stop, answer, and listen. Oh, it's not working. Let's wait a little bit. Are you listening to the noises?
Yes.
I'm sorry. My neighbors are already celebrating Easter. Sorry about that.
No problem. Teacher?
I am listening. I'm just reloading the page so we can do it, okay?
Daylight saving time. Spring forward, fall back. About 70 countries around the world observe daylight saving time, DST. In the Northern Hemisphere, clocks spring forward an hour in the spring and fall back to standard time in the fall. In the Southern Hemisphere, some countries also spring forward and fall back, but their seasons are opposite from those in the Northern Hemisphere. However, most countries along and below the equator have no reason to participate in this semi-annual time shift. Many people think that the purpose of daylight saving time is to give farmers more hours of sunlight to do their work. This is a myth. Farmers are the first to say that they rise with the sun, not the clock. A bug collector from New Zealand was the first person to propose a time shift in the summer months. George Hudson wanted more hours to collect bugs and suggested a 2-hour time shift. In April 1916, Germany became the first country to adopt daylight saving time. Germany's original purpose was to conserve energy during the war. European and North American countries followed its lead, with hopes that people would stay outdoors longer and use less artificial energy. This may have worked years ago. However, modern conveniences, such as air conditioners and shopping malls, have offset these savings. Daylight saving time does appear to have some benefits. Tourists are more likely to stay out later and spend more money. DST may also reduce car accidents, since it makes roads brighter during the afternoon rush hour. Those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder seem to benefit greatly from DST. On the other hand, there is always an increase in car accidents and a decrease in productivity during the first few dark mornings of DST when our internal clocks are still adjusting. Some health experts also argue that this unnatural adjustment puts a strain on the human body, especially when DST begins. As we know from jet lag, losing an hour is more difficult on the body than gaining an hour. In addition, seasonal time changes cause confusion for travelers and business workers in different time zones. If your region observes DST, would you miss the extra hour of sunlight without it? If you don't change your clocks, do you think many countries will join you in the 21st century?
Now we do it together, okay? Let's go.
Daylight saving time. Spring forward, fall back. About 70 countries around the world observe daylight saving time.
Oh. What do you think, guys?
Observe.
And how would you spell that?
OBSERVE.
DST. In the Northern Hemisphere, clocks spring forward an hour in the spring and fall back to standard time in the fall. In the Southern Hemisphere,
Standard time.
Standard time. How would you spell that?
Show.
Is
Your
S
turn, Joe.
E. Wait,
A.
sorry. Can you repeat? A.
S T A N. Teacher without the A, the first A.
Okay.
D A R D.
That's it.
Yes.
some countries also spring forward and fall back, but their seasons are opposite from those in the Northern Hemisphere. However, most countries along and below the equator have no reason to participate in this semi-annual time shift.
Annual
Summer.
S
I don't
E N I
Sorry, could you repeat, please?
semi-annual
know.
E
S.
E M I A N N U A L U A L.
That's it all together?
I don't know.
Sorry, guys, I'm gonna close the door because it's. Ay, que susto!
What happened? Teacher, what happened?
Someone closed their door, but like I don't know if it was the air or something. They just dumped the door, so I got scared because it was when people stopped the music. You were listening to the music, right?
No,
No,
no.
really? I was going to close my door because the music was very loud, and when I said so, someone closed their door. So I got scared because I was trying to listen if the music actually had stopped, but we're okay with it. So let's keep on going. Oh, you said semi-annual, right, Peter?
Yes, I don't know.
Okay. I have one question. Did you guys watch The Last of Us?
Last?
The Last of Us.
Yes.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Yes. The main actor is Pedro Pascal. I always remember of him because of Peter, because his name is Pedro. So I always remember Pascal. But anyway, it's a very good TV series, guys. If you have the opportunity, watch it. If you're okay with zombies, kind of zombies. It is very good.
Yeah.
Let's keep on going.
Many people think that the purpose of daylight saving time is to give farmers more hours of sunlight to do their work. This is a myth. Farmers are the first to say that they
No,
rise with the
stop.
sun.
Sorry. This is a
Myth.
a myth. How would you spell myth?
M.
What's
Y.
after M? Y.
Y. T. H.
H. Okay.
Along and below the equator have no reason to participate in this semi-annual time shift. Many people think that the purpose of daylight saving time is to give farmers more hours of sunlight to do their work. This is a myth. Farmers are the first to say that they rise with the sun, not the clock. A bug collector from New Zealand was the first person to propose a time shift in the summer months.
To
Propose.
how would you spell propose? Propose.
Propose.
L?
Sorry. E.
Okay. Propose.
Propose.
George Hudson wanted more hours to collect bugs and suggested a 2-hour time shift. In April 1916, Germany became the first country to adopt daylight saving time. Germany's original purpose was to conserve energy during
Conserve. CONSERVE.
the war. European and North American countries followed its lead, with hopes that people would stay outdoors longer and use less artificial energy.
Artificial.
How do you spell it?
ARTIFICIAL.
Okay.
This may have worked years ago. However, modern conveniences, such as air conditioners and shopping malls, have offset these savings.
Offset.
Please spell offset.
OFSET.
Oh, sorry.
Daylight saving time does appear to have some benefits. Tourists are more likely to stay out late.
Tourist.
Tourists. How would you spell tourists?
TURIST. Oh, sorry, without E.
Without E?
Tourist.
Isn't it tourists?
I think it's E.
T-O?
U. Yes.
T-O-U?
Tourist.
Tourists are?
Tourists. Tourists.
Tourists. E-S?
Yes.
You sure?
No.
I think it's just yes.
Yes.
Later and spend more money. DST may also reduce car accidents since it makes roads brighter during the afternoon rush hour.
Rush hour.
Shower people.
RUSH space HOOUR.
Those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder seem to benefit greatly from DST. On the other hand, There was always an increase in car accidents and a decrease in productivity.
Productivity.
How do you spell it? Oh,
Productivity.
mm, very fast.
During the first few dark mornings of DST, when our internal clocks are still adjusting. Some health experts also argue that this unnatural adjustment puts a strain on the human body, especially when DST begins. As we know from jet lag, losing an hour is more difficult on the body.
Teacher, what's the strain?
So if you want to separate the juice from the meat of the fruit, you have to use a strainer. Do you understand or no?
I think not.
No, so let me try to find a better way. If you want to separate the liquids from the, how do you say it? I forgot the word in Portuguese even. Like if you want to separate liquids from the hard things, you have to use a strainer. So you strain the water, the liquids, and you keep separatedly from what is bigger and what is liquid. Do you get it?
Peneirar?
Yes. Peneira, I didn't remember in Portuguese. Like peneira, it's not exactly it. But you divide, like you separate the liquids and the good part. In this way, in this situation, strains the human body. It's like makes us very like our happiness. They strain the happiness. You know, we feel very tired, very unproductive.
Okay. Understand now.
Jesus, I didn't remember peneira in Portuguese. I'm very bad when you ask something. I know the meaning. I know the word in Portuguese, but I don't remember. I hate it. It's even worse than not knowing.
Yeah.
But let's keep on going. So, especially when DST begins, as we know from
jet lag.
Yep. How do you spell jet lag?
Esqueci J.
J.
J. E. E.
E.
Space. L. A. G.
I know we have one more.
Then gaining an hour. In addition, seasonal time changes cause confusion for travelers and business workers in different time zones. If your region observes DST, would you miss the extra hour of sunlight without it? If you don't change your
Sunlight.
How do you spell it?
S. U. N. L. I. G. A. T.
Dun, dun, dun. You've got 12 out of 13. Let me see. Oh, tourists. Oh yeah, we didn't see the little period in here, but it still is correct. So very good, guys. Very, very good. Let's keep going with the comprehension. I love this type of questions. I'm not going to type the answers in here because you're going to do it by yourselves. Okay, it's already on your Ellie. And we're going to discuss a little bit more in here. Okay?
Okay.
So, could you read that for us, Adriana, please?
What does the reading say about DST and nations in the southern hemisphere? Hemisphere.
So what does the reading say about the southern hemisphere and the DST? Do you remember or do you need to read again?
I don't remember.
Okay, so let's read again. What do you think? It's already here. What do you think, guys?
In the southern hemisphere, some countries also spring forward and fall back.
But
But
their
their
seasons
seasons
are
are opposite. From in the northern hemisphere.
Yes. In Brazil, it's autumn right now, right? The fall, right?
Yes.
In Canada, United States, it is spring. Yeah. So it's not exactly opposite, but it's like, I think we are one season in front of them. Because
in Canada begins in
the spring
in spring.
No, wait.
In April?
No, right now it's spring, I think, in Canada, because it's very close to Easter.
Yes, then begins now?
I believe so. You mean the DST?
Yes.
No, the DST is around like, not September, I think it's October, November, around that time. It's when it's winter.
Okay.
So like right now it's spring and summer goes until September, mid-September or the beginning of September. And then they start their fall, which goes until November. And then after November, from November to, I think, February and March, right? It's when it's their winter. So it's a long time of winter. Like in February, they still have snow and everything. So in Brazil, it's summer.
Yes.
So it's very different. It's very, very different. It's very hot. Guys, when I arrived from Canada, it was February, so we still had snow. When I arrived in João Pessoa, I was like, what is this? Is this hell? Did you take me to hell? It was 1 a.m. It was so hot. Like the wind was hot and it was night. It was supposed to be cold. I was like, with my clothes that I was traveling for 2 days straight. So all I wanted was to take a shower and to sleep. That's all I wanted. And that's what I did. It's very hot in João Pessoa and it's very cold. So it's two opposites. But what about the next question? Because I think it's more. So yeah. So what myth is mentioned in the article? Do you remember, guys? Do you remember it?
It was something about the farmers. I don't know.
It was about the farmers. That is true. So do you remember, guys?
They think that the purpose of the light saving is because of the farmers. but that's not true because they rise with the sun and not the clock.
Exactly that. Very good, Jill. Exactly what they said. It's not because of the farmers, because they don't care what time it is. They wake up with the sun, right? So, Joe, please.
Who was George Hudson and what was his original proposal?
So, what do you think?
I think he wanted more hours to collect the bugs.
The insects, exactly. Because I think it's when the sun goes down, that's when insects come around. Yeah, right? We usually see more insects during the night, right?
Yes, that's true.
I guess so. I guess. Do you guys live near any nature places, like with a lot of trees or animals? Do you live near anything like this?
Yes, I live on some roads from a farm.
From a farm?
Yes.
I live beside a farm. You guys know vacaria in bancários? Vacaria or no? Peter, I guess he does. No? Vacaria? It's really, really, really close to bancários.
Não
But
sabia.
it's literally it's literally like you have to go through Vacaria to go from my neighborhood to Bancários. So
Uhum.
I live very close to the Vacaria. You can go walking. Actually, I live very close to Teacher Clebinho. He lives beside the Vacaria. I live a couple, like, I think, like 1 or 2 houses beside Vacaria, after Vacaria.
Then you can buy milk, natural milk.
Yeah, they sell milk,
It's
cheese. Yeah, and sometimes when I go, I work near here in another school, and when I go to that school, sometimes they're taking the cows from one side to the other, so I have to wait. All the cows go to the other side to cross the street.
Yes.
Really, I saw. I think I saw. I don't know if I saw or if I heard about a calf. You know, calf, right? It's the baby cow. I think I saw like the birth of one of them. They were so little, so beautiful. And also they have like sheep and all type of animals. So I have many insects near my house.
Yes.
I have many cigarras. How do you say cigarra? I think it's grasshopper. Let me search. I think it's grasshopper.
Yeah. There are a lot of bugs here.
You live near a farm, right?
Yes.
Do you know what's funny? Oh no, yeah. Do you know what's funny? I never go near them, or I never go horseback riding. Do you like horseback riding? Yeah,
I have never to.
You see, we live near houses and we never go on horseback. Do you know what it is, Adriana?
No.
Like
what's rules?
Horseback ride.
Horseback ride.
Horseback riding.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah, you see, Adriana always goes horseback riding. I don't. But I'm afraid of it. They're very high. Horses are very high. Peter, please, could you read for us?
Yes. Why did Germany adopt the ST in
1916.
1916?
Why, guys?
I don't know.
Because conserve energy.
And what was the reason? The main reason?
Conserve energy?
Yes, but what was happening at the time? I think, wait, let me see.
Because of the war.
Mm-hmm. They were the first country to adopt. The original purpose was to conserve energy, yes, but during the war.
Ah, okay.
Can you imagine, like 100 years ago, people were fighting
No.
without any real reason, and still nowadays they are fighting, like Ukraine and Russia. For me, it's really like it's a nonsense, right? But anyways, paraphrase.
Terrible.
Is it you, Peter, now, or you already read it? It's you, right? Oh no, you already did it.
Yes.
So go, Adriana, please.
Paraphrase
Paraphrase, yes.
the pros and cons of seasonal time changes that are provided in the article.
So what are the pros and cons? What do you think?
Cons in cons because affects
Effect,
the human the health
the human body.
the human body.
But what happens? What specifically happens?
Strain.
Yeah, it strains the human body.
Right.
That is true.
Yeah.
Very good. And what are the cons? The pros, sorry.
Pros.
Pros are the good things, cons, the bad things.
Pros conserve energy.
Yeah, to save some energy.
Less accident.
Less
car accidents.
Mm-hmm. That is true. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, roads are brighter during the afternoon rush hour. Okay.
What's brighter? Brighter,
like bright and shining. Like I am very bright right now. You see this, the light in my face? It's bright. Now
okay.
it's a little darker.
Okay.
You get it? So let's see vocab review. Could you read, Adriana, please?
I would like to suggest that we stay on DST year round, like Saskatchewan,
Saskatchewan. It's a place in Canada. Remote place in Canada. So to suggest is the same as propose, prospect, or protest.
Propose.
Propose.
Joe, please.
The savings we make by turning off the air conditioner are lost to our employees' lack of productivity in the heat. Offset,
Peter.
I prefer opening the car windows to turning on the air conditioner. Artificial.
Artificial. This high school has one. Oh, sorry, it was you, Adriana.
The high school has one dance in the fall and one in the spring.
Annual, centennial, or semi-annual?
Semi-annual.
Teacher, why is it different, the semi-annual?
What do you mean?
It's not one word.
I don't know if I get your question. I think you mean like why is
the event? And
oh, yeah,
we saw that it was without the event, so I don't know.
In the text?
Yes.
Really? I didn't pay attention. Let me see. Let me check. Let me see. Semi-annual, that is true. Semi-annual. I'm not sure if there's a big, let me see, just a second. I think it was a review, right? Yeah. So I'm not sure, but I'm gonna search the difference. I think there's no difference, just how they write it. Semi-annual.
So we can write both ways.
I'm searching right now. I think there's not a difference. It doesn't say anything about a difference between both of them. It just says that is it semi-annual or semi-annually? That's the question. Also semi-yearly, occurring, done, or published every half a year or twice a year. You can also say biannual or lasting for half a year, a semi-annual plant. So it could also mean that it goes from like it happens for 6 months. You know?
Yes.
So I think, let me see. Offset and artificial. I think it's here now. Yeah, has one dance in the fall and one in spring. Semi-annual. Yeah, I believe you can actually say both of them because both of them are accepted.
Okay.
Yeah, both are accepted. The notes, first twice a year. Biannual is also the same. Oh no, yeah, every 2 years. Semi-annual America. Okay, yeah, it's pretty much the same, honey. But great question. I didn't pay attention to that. So you think it's semi-annual? That's the answer?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. We take, Peter.
We take the train because the highway is so busy before and after work. It's rush hour.
Rush hour. Joe.
I was so tired after traveling to India. There is a 9-hour time difference. Jet lag.
Adriana.
Can you move over one chair? My grandmother needs a seat beside me. Shift.
Joe. Joe?
We don't celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah?
I think it's the same as Hanukkah.
Observe.
So observe. Peter.
Most full-time employers work an 8-hour workday. It's standard.
And the last one is, I get more work done when I'm listening to music.
Productive.
Productive.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Excellent work. Very good, guys. The grammar review and the discussion is going to be homework, okay?
Okay.
Teacher.
Thank you so much for coming today, guys. Happy Easter for you. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Okay, thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next week. Alrighty?
Thanks,
Thank you,
teacher.
teacher.
Bye, guys. Have
Good
a
night.
good holiday.
Thank you
And good holiday.
for you too, guys. Bye-bye.